Camargo!
Give it up for Lucy Love, your host, you guys. It is so good to be in California with you folks tonight. I spent the last year living in Austin, Texas. Boo! It was very interesting living in Austin. The first show that I did when I moved out there, I was doing a story about how I just became an American citizen 3 years ago, which is true. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And just for fun, I asked the audience in Texas, I was like, hey, does anyone in here want to yell out where you think that I'm from? And I just heard this lady in the back yell out, Jew! Totally missed the question. I was like, can you show it to me on a map? Don't think you can. Yeah, I actually grew up in Texas, so I was like going back, but I had lived in California for 11 years, so I kept my California ID the entire time I was in Austin last year. Man, Texans hate Californians so much. Every time I'd go to a bar and get carded, the bartender would look at me and be like, you just visited? And when I would say no, he'd be like, go back to where you came from. And then he'd shove a Lone Star in front of me, which is the national beer of Texas. Which to me is so ironic because I got told that more times in the last year as a California ID holder in Texas than the 23 years I was an immigrant in this fucking country. They're like, we'll take the illegals, but fuck you. I'm Brazilian. Are you Brazilians? No, okay. That was the hardest no ever. Okay, yeah, no, all the Brazilians are out in downtown doing DoorDash tonight. That's what's fucking going on. But, yeah, I'm Brazilian. I was born in São Paulo, Brazil, and then when I was 4 years old, my mom moved us to Waco, Texas. And we lived in Waco until one day there was this tragic fire and all these men came running in. The three people that got that fucking joke, alright. No, I come from a really weird Brazilian family. Like, when I was born, my mom was not okay with the Brazilian doctors touching me at all for any reason, so I wasn't circumcised. Then I moved to America, and you guys seem to be oddly weirded out by foreskin for whatever fucking reason. I went to the doctor when I was 8, and the doctor looked at my mom and was like, hey, you should probably circumcise your kid for cleaning purposes. And my mom was like, yeah, knock yourself out. So I was circumcised at 8. Some of the dudes are looking at me like I fought in Nam. Yeah, we lost a lot of good skin out there that day, boys. If you could stop talking after every fucking thing I say, I would really appreciate it. Kind of trying to do a job here. But I get it, right? My mom had like good intentions. She wanted me to be a happy, healthy boy. That I understand. What I thought was weird is that when I woke up from surgery, my whole family had flown out from Brazil to see my dick healed. You know how many birthdays and Christmases they missed? But they're like, dude, he's getting dick surgery. Let's get tickets tonight. We should be there. How fun would that be, huh? Surprise. Every 45 minutes, the doctors were coming in to look at my wiener, and my grandma was in the back cracking jokes like, "E parece que a tartaruga saiu, hein?" Which in Portuguese, that means the turtle has left its shell. Pretty awkward. I was in 4th grade. I missed a month and a half of school. I went back and all the kids were like, dude, where have you been? And then I got kicked out of show and tell. When I'm working on it though, I just started going to therapy as an adult. It's the first time that's ever gotten a laugh, but that's cool. I'll take it. When I started therapy, my therapist asked me, she was like, hey, where do you want to start? And I said, I'm the kind of guy that wears a shirt in the pool. That hurt a little bit. That's all right. But when you say that to your therapist, she has a lot of questions, you know? So I started explaining to her that when I was a kid, what I would do is when I'd go on family vacations, I would put my headphones on and I would slowly lower the volume down so I could hear my family saying shit that they would never say around me if they knew I was listening, right? So I was on a family vacation. I overheard my grandma tell everyone in the car that if I didn't outgrow my man boobs, that we would just surgically remove them.
I see you.
And I knew they weren't joking because 2 years before that, they took my foreskin. I knew they weren't joking around. My ears perked up. I was like, I'm listening. I was very like, oh wow, you guys are really embarrassed by this. And my therapist was like, that's why you wear the shirt in the pool. And I was like, this is the best $200 I've spent in a long time. But it got me thinking, I mean, imagine if my grandparents had taken my tits. The way that society and gender has evolved, would I be out at a pool party this summer and someone would see the scars and come up to me and be like, wow, with the beard and everything, good for you. And I'd be like, no, I've been a man my whole life. And they'd be like, you sure have, yes you have. That's an awkward conversation. That feels like stolen valor. I'm not doing that, you know? I'd rather wear a shirt in the pool. That's what I'm gonna fucking do. I am in love, which is nice. Yeah, it's like probably the most serious thing that I've ever had in my entire life, but it's pretty gay. She's bisexual, I'm straight. I like making the joke that my girlfriend is my boyfriend. We spent our first date, the entire first hour of our first date, it was her underneath the car trying to fix her muffler because it was making a weird noise, and yelling at me because I couldn't hold the flashlight right. I didn't have a dad growing up, but I'm fucking dating one. That's what's going on over at my house. Yeah, she's great. I love her to death, but she does some man shit sometimes. She's definitely wearing the pants in this relationship. Like, my hair is as long as it's ever been. It's past my shoulders, and the first time I went to go down on my girlfriend, my hair kept getting in the way. So the next time she came over, she brought me a whole Ziploc bag of old hair ties that she had. Which to me was like a total man move, like, now you can go down on me, babe. You know, I was like, what the fuck? So I started putting my hair up, and I don't mind going down on my girlfriend. I just hate when her clit hits the back of my throat, you know what I mean? She loves that joke. She hates when I call her daddy, but she loves that joke. She gets really into the whole my girlfriend is my boyfriend bit. Like, sometimes when we're fooling around, she'll just lean in and whisper in my ear, I'm so hard right now. And then she fucks me. It's crazy, dude. She truly is amazing. I've known her since high school. We've known each other for a long time. And we tried dating like 7 years ago, but the timing just wasn't right, and finally it all came together, and I truly think she's one of the most incredible people I've ever met. She has so much love in her heart. She has a 3-year-old daughter, and if I can be vulnerable with you guys and be like a serious note for a second, during COVID she went to a party, and her social bubble, you know, and she got sexually assaulted at this party. I guess her social bubble wasn't as tight as she thought it was. And then, yeah, she got pregnant, and she didn't even know she was pregnant until she went into labor. She went into the ER thinking she had appendicitis, and they were going to take out her appendix, but they took out a baby. That's fucking what happened. Which is really intense. I mean, I was like, I can't even imagine what that must have been like. And she thought about giving up for adoption. She stayed up all night until she decided finally whether she was going to have the kid. She wouldn't go to sleep until she made the decision. And she was just looking down at this baby, and she just thought, I love this thing so much that I couldn't give it up, and she decided to keep the baby and raise it for herself. Which to me just shows how awesome and how beautiful this lady really is, right? And we have a lot of traumas. Like I said, I was circumcised when I was 8, right? And she has her stuff. We have baggage, I get it. But she has an impeccable sense of humor, and we love to joke about her traumas. So if you guys are cool, I'm going to share something with you tonight. Her kid's awesome. Her kid can be the best time, but also the worst time. If you have kids, you probably know what that's like. First time I hung out with her kid, we were in the car, we were going to the San Diego Zoo. It was me, my girlfriend McKenna, her daughter Logan, and the grandma, right? And the grandma was programming the GPS, and as she was typing in the thing, she put in the wrong number, and she goes, oh man, I put in these stupid GPS wrong. And my girlfriend McKenna looked over at her mom and was like, hey, can we not say that word, please? Stupid, right? And the kid in the back was like, don't say that fucking word! I was like, me and the kid are gonna be tight. I looked at my girlfriend and she was just like, oh, at least she's using it right. I don't know, I guess. But one night, you know, her kid was just being a fucking nightmare. Wouldn't go to bed, just was fucking not listening, right? And my girlfriend texted me and she said, man, just some nights I can't, she just won't take no for an answer and I don't know where she gets it. And I texted back, probably the dad. I don't know, fuck it. To all of you groaning, I got consent before I did that joke, so fuck you. I like San Marcos. You guys are cool, man. We've all heard the expression, don't drop the soap, right? Has nothing to do with my girlfriend, relax. Completely separate topic here. Me and my girlfriend were taking a shower this morning, and I was using a bar of soap, and I dropped it. And when I bent over, she said, "Don't drop the soap," and then shoved a finger in my ass. And I've never thought about this before, but I think we've heard that expression so many times that we never think of the other side of the coin, which is just one guy who's in the shower hard the entire time, just in case. Fellas, you ever try to put a fucking limp dick into an asshole? It doesn't fucking work. You gotta be ready for that shit. Which also made me think, it's 2024, why are we handing these gentlemen body wash? It seems like they want you to rape. I don't fucking... Yep, that's what it says. Alright, good. Just making sure... That's sense of humor is my thing. I really like, that's what I look for in a woman. Like my ex-girlfriend, she was awesome too. She had a great sense of humor, but she was like a fucking raging alcoholic and a crazy person. But anyway, first we went out drinking one night, and this is the first night we hooked up. She took me back to her place, and we were hooking up, and we were doing a doggy style, and the light was off. And I looked down, and I noticed she had a tattoo from cheek to cheek on her ass. And mid-sex, I just couldn't help it, so I was like, "Hey, what is this tattoo?" And she looked back at me and she's like, "It's a phoenix." I was like, "What? Why?" And she's like, "You know, rising from the asses." And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here. That's the hottest thing I've ever heard in bed. Are you fucking kidding me?" I laughed and came in that order and I aimed for the phoenix. I was like, "Yeah, fucking rise from these ashes, you bitch." She did this thing that no other girl has ever done. Is every morning when I'd wake up at her house, she would just go down on me. Even if I was limp, she would just suck it until it was hard and then just fucking... and ask for nothing in return. And then afterwards, she would rub my belly. She would just sit there, and it was the most comforting thing in the world. It was like if my mom blew me every morning before school. It was amazing. This black guy just told me to chill, dude. That's the funniest thing anyone's ever yelled at me. So happy you sat in the front. The one black guy. Give it up for him for the courage to fucking... I tried dating a Brazilian once, and I found out some things about my culture that I'm not very proud of. She was, as you Americans like to say, fresh off the boat. She couldn't speak English very well, text in English very well, but I'm fluent in Portuguese, so it's fine. So we were texting like that, and every time I just make like a cute, just a little joke in conversation with her, just like a flirty little thing, she would always send back KKK. Red flag, right, my guy? Yeah, red flag. I was like, oh no. So I was like, she's hot enough, I'm gonna let this slide a couple times, and then I'll ask. But eventually she just kept doing it, so I called my mom and I was like, hey, what's with the whole KKK thing? What's that all about? And my mom was like, oh, sweetheart, that's just how we laugh and text in slang. Right, are you kidding? I was like, Americans have ha-ha, Spanish people have ja-ja, and we're over here like, kuh-kuh-kuh-kuh-kuh. We laugh like Popeye, it's fucking crazy. Let's just be racist, that's less embarrassing. I don't know. Dude, you're my favorite human being right now. What? Chill! Chill! This is going so much better than I hoped. This is awesome. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, like I said, I did become an American citizen 3 years ago. Coming up in July. July will be 3 years. From Brazil. She's not been listening to a single thing I fucking said this whole time! From where? Come on! You're in the... God, I wish I knew how to play keyboard right now. I'm from South America. I'm from a country called Brazil. I also don't have a foreskin. I don't know. What else do I need to bring you up on? Jesus. Oh, man. I recently became an American citizen. It was very stressful becoming a citizen. It took 3 years. Usually it takes about a year to become a citizen, but I applied right before COVID, so everything just got fucked up. I gained 80 pounds in the 3 years it took me to become an American, just stress eating. But it was almost like they were training me to be more American. Like, we'll wait till he's pre-diabetic, then we'll let him in. I went to go get my certificate, and they're like, hey man, does your foot sometimes hurt and then fall asleep? I was like, yeah, and they were like, approved, hobble on in, dude, you're one of us. A couple of things that I thought was weird, though, is the first thing, on the way out, they give you this manila envelope, and on the inside is like a pamphlet with your new rights, and I was like, that's pretty cool. But they also include this miniature American flag, and on the side of the flag it says, Customs and Immigration Services, which kind of felt disrespectful, like, hey, welcome to America, but never forget where you came from, bitch. You're not one of us, one of us, be one of us, you know? And then you flip that over, and on the other side it says made in China, and I was like, how embarrassing. That's just fucking for us, by us, right, dude? Alright, okay. It's fucking weird. But also, for whatever reason, America does not allow dual citizenship with Brazil, so I had to renounce my Brazilian citizenship to become an American, which... We all live here. We know the state of things here. I feel like I helicoptered onto the Titanic to tell dick jokes on the way down. That's how I fucking feel. I don't know about... I had to renounce that whole other place that I could escape to when the shit hits the fan here to be part of this, so... Okay. Yeah, fucking going down, dude. I almost didn't make it as a citizen, though, because I had an arrest on my record from when I was 21. Has anyone in here ever been arrested? Of course you have. I bet you've been arrested multiple times because you didn't listen in court the first time. Jesus Christ. Dare I ask, what did you get fucking arrested for? Oh, false ID. Paraphernalia. Are we talking weed or meth? What do we... This guy was like, meth for sure, dude. Have you heard this bitch the whole night? Meth for sure, dude. For weed?